All right, hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Jazzy Time with your host, Bailey. How's it going, everybody? I haven't done a run on this one, but this is a 3D Thursday video for you guys. I've got a little bit of spare time here, and I'm going to attempt it. I'm just going to go for it. If it doesn't turn out, then oh well, but I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to go through any materials in the beginning here. I'm just going to kind of start doing and explaining as I'm going along. So, yes. All right. So, I have taken a nail form backing, and I have traced, because I'm going to put it on a long stiletto. So, I've just done the long stiletto nail. I've traced it here. I'm trying to get to focus here. I've traced it so I know my base. And then I've kind of drawn out how big I want my elephant head to be, because I'm going to be doing a 3D elephant. Or attempting. And then I've also done how big I want my ears to be. And I've done that on the non-shiny side. So now I'm going to flip it over to the waxy side here, and I'm going to use 2 shims here and secure it down to my tile. And this is going to help me with my template here. So I'm going to start with the ears. So I'm going to take a little bit of plastic wrap here, and I'm going to cut a little square. Like so, but I'm going to like squinch it up first so it's got a little bit of texture in there, because elephant ears are kind of like bumpy and like wavy and crumbly. So, or wavy and crumbly. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like I want it to kind of give my gel a little bit of texture, and my son is going to keep pushing things here. So if you see stuff coming into frame, that's my little guy. And I'm going to sort of lay this down over top of my template. Now that it's kind of all wrinkly on me, Vinny, please stop pushing. Just like that. Smooth it down a little bit. I love utilizing my tile because I can, pick stuff up. So see how nice and wrinkly that is? So that's going to give my ears some texture. And I think I'm going to use some IBD. Clear. And my gel brush here. No. Ugh. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Vinny was pushing on my camera. Okay, so I'm going to take some IBD. And I'm going to go over top of my little template here on the plastic, and just do a thin, like a slick layer for now. And then I'm going to come back in with another coat after this one is cured. So I am making 2 separate ears. I'm not connecting them because I want to be able to adjust these just in case. Okay, so if I kind of flash it in light, you guys can see those two little ears. So I'm going to put that in the light for a 90-second cure, and I'll be right back. Actually, while I'm waiting for that to cure, I'll show you guys this. So I've got some sticky tack because I don't have any like plasticine or Play-Doh or anything like that kind of kicking around. So I've taken a big square and I've kind of made these tusk shapes here, and I've used a dotting tool to kind of press them in, and then I loosely pressed in some plastic wrap over the top so that it doesn't stick in there. And I'm going to attempt, crossing my fingers, I'm hoping this is going to work for the tusks. So I'm going to kind of do one step at a time, but I just wanted to show you guys that. So I made a little template for the tusks. And I'm going to do the same thing after I'm done constructing my tusks. I'm going to do the trunk similar to this as well. So I'm hoping it will work. All right, so I'm going to... So I pull that out of the light now. So I'm going to do a second layer of IBD. Just to make this a little thicker. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how crazy I'm going. I'm dog sitting and my mom's dogs are driving me crazy. I have 4 dogs, so my dog and her 3 dogs and my cat, and her dogs are tormenting my cat. Okay, so I really want to get that little point on the bottom. Benny, don't push. Okay, so I've got my second layer on there. I'm going to cure that again, and I will see you all shortly. All right, so these are all cured. I'm gonna lift this off of here, and I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Use my tweezers. Honey, please stop touching. Okay. So there we have one. I'm going to set that on my tile. And there is the second. And now you guys can see, you'll be able to see now. See how that kind of gives that beautiful skin texture on there? That's exactly what I was going for. That is exactly what I wanted. So I am going to, now these are still tacky, but I want to just kind of snip off any snaggies. But I do kind of want to leave it, oh my goodness. It's okay, it's only air, you're fine. My son just grabbed the compressed air can. Okay, so I am going to pause real fast, and I am going to matte top coat both sides of these, and I will be back. Okay, so other than that little spot there where I was holding it with the tweezers, so those are matte top coated on both sides. We have, so those are good to go to be attached afterwards. So I'm going to set these little ears over here. And I'm going to, all right, so I have my nail here. Going to first kind of with IBD, I'm going to trace out very roughly the base for my elephant head. So that's what I have there. A little hard to see. And then I'm going to just kind of take one of my ears and use it to measure. I think that's okay. Well, I'm gonna go a little wider. And a little more pointed. All right, and I'm going to just flash cure that spot for like 30 seconds. Because now that's going to be like my building spot. Okay, so that's flash cured. So now I'm going to do another layer. But I might have to hold this in the lamp. Oh. I'm going to cure this ear to my little elephant face, and I will be right back. So I'm going to do both ears, and then I'll come back at you guys. Okay, so here we are all connected, and then I'm just going to put a pretty generous layer, but not too thick, because I still need to conform like the trunk and that to the face. But I just want to make my base a little thicker, secure those two little edges on the sides of the ears. Then I'm just going to kind of turn it upside down so that let that self-leveling action kind of go on. And then I'm going to cure that. All right, so while that is curing, I'm going to move on to my little tusks. So I no longer need my little template here, but I do need my second tile, so I'm just ripping my stuff up off the tile here. So, wipe my brush. So now, I'm going to use crisp white. So this is like a builder gel, a really thick white builder gel, and I'm hoping this is gonna work. Kind of lay it in here. Massage it in. Trying to make them both the same size. Just like so, so that this other one's kind of a little thicker. So I may have to file that down just a bit. So I'm gonna take the elephant head out of the light, and I'm gonna put the tusks in the light and cure those, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here they are. I'm going to gently pull up on this plastic. Kind of pop them out. So we have some little flat tusks. So the underside isn't cured because it was face down and not inside to the light. So move that. I'm going to lay them the other way. And then using a little bit of tweezers, best tweezers ever, by the way. These are by Revlon. I found these. So I'm going to kind of hold it. And add a little bit of the crisp white to this side. Just trying to get it to let go without sticking too bad. Let go. So I'm definitely gonna have to give these tusks a little light filing. Okay, so I'm going to stick those in the light so the other side can cure. And while I'm waiting for that, I actually have some gray 3D gel that I made, and I've taken some out and I've rolled it, and I've sized this up here, and I think that this will be a good amount of gel here. So I want to like make this flat on this end, and I'm just kind of like manipulating it in my hands. I'm gonna grab a little silicone tool here. Kind of push out that little trunk shape. So I want the trunk to kind of go in that little S shape. Trying to manipulate it without having the shape get too wonky on me. So just like that, and I'm going to gonna stick this on there where I want it, and then kind of fix my shape here and kind of blend this piece down. It's great because this, the IBD is still super sticky, so it's gonna kind of hang on to that gel a little bit for me. Okay, so I'm happy with how that's positioned. I'm going to cure this extra because this homemade 3D gel takes a little longer to set. So I'm going to cure this little trunk, and I'm going to file off camera these little tusks that just came out. So I'm going to wipe them and give them a little cleanup, and I will see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so I thought I was recording. So my trunk idea did not work. So I'm going to secure my tusks. I've already done one. I'm sitting here talking to myself, thinking I had the other one. So I'm just going to put a little dollop, and I'm going to use my tweezers and hold it in this spot in the light until it kind of grabs on and cures, and then I will let it go. Sorry, I forgot to push pause, so all you guys can see is my arm. There we go. So I'll pause, be right back. Okay, so while those little tusks are curing, so I had my little white tusks on this side. I'm going to kind of make a little base here, and I'm going to go with my original idea. So I'm kind of tracing how I want my trunk to look. Kind of like that, and then I'm just gonna push in, make little indenties, and then my little opening for my trunk. It almost looks like a little snake. And then I'm gonna take some plastic wrap again. Gently lay it over. And push it in. I'm going to use my silicone tool and kind of push in and smooth out those little bumps. Just a little bit, because I am going to have to work with this and kind of build it up so that it's round. But this is going to be like my center structure. I want to make sure all my edges are kind of crisp. And I'm going to take some IBD, builder gel. And I'm just going to fill my little mold. Ever so strategically. Of course, my son is playing with things. Making banging noises, so you can see that. I'm going to cure this, and I'll be right back. Trunk, a little bit of girth here. Oh, sorry, I thought that part was recording. So I've taken this off, and I've already done this twice, so I'm going to do it a third time. So to give my trunk a little bit of dimension here, I'm just dipping it into the builder gel, letting the excess come off, and then kind of wiping that little piece on the rim to kind of give it that that opening. I am going to have to file it just a little. I'm going to put that in the light. I kind of keep moving it so that it stays a little round. Okay, and then it is still tacky, so I'm going to take the other end here, and I'm just going to dip the remaining end 3 times and cure until I have a full trunk, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, so I am going to just speed it up from here. So I've got the trunk out of the light there. I've given it a wipe with some cleanser, and I'm just giving it a little file, getting off any little snaggy parts, and making the base piece that goes against the face flat so that I can put it on there. Using IBD again, I'm going to secure the trunk to the face, just like that. Stick that on there, cure it. Then I'm going to do a good layer, kind of build up the face a little bit, and I go around the trunk and the tusks to make sure that they're a little more secured and attached so that it's all one piece. Going around, making my adjustments there, giving the face also a little more dimension as well. Kind of made a boo-boo on the chin there, so I had to use my cleanup brush and sharpen the bottom of the face there. And cured it. So, and then I'm going over top the whole entire thing with the matte top coat. The ears and the trunk and the tusks and everything. Curing it, and then I'm going to take Canni gel paint white and 530 and tips and toes gel polish from Nail Innovations 037, and I'm going to mix them together to get the gray color that I want. I'm just using a flat color brush from my Cat's Eye nail art brush collection. You guys can get those off AliExpress. I'm also using Sheila, and a very black airy sponge. So I'm going to take my flat art brush there, and I'm going to cover the entire thing except for the trunk, or except for the tusks, in this kind of light gray color. And then afterwards I'm going to start building in some depth with some darker colors. So I'm going over all the larger surfaces with the big brush, and then I kind of go in around the smaller, more dainty areas with Sheila there, and fill in all the spots where that big flat brush couldn't reach. I love how the ears kind of turned out, really kind of textured. So that plastic wrap idea was a good idea. And then I cured it, and I'm going to add a little more black to the gray so that I have a little bit of a darker, like more slate gray to start adding some dimension. And then I cut a little piece off the black sponge, and I kind of bunch it up into some tweezers and use that to do some texturing. And I start going like around the ears and anywhere there would be shadowing, just trying to make it look more real versus like cartoony or anything. So just doing my best to do some shading there, just doing all around the ears. And the airy sponge also helps, gives you that that skin texture that elephants have, kind of like that crisscross. And I just kind of wearing down the tusks a little bit. I like the fact that the tusks aren't exactly smooth, so they kind of hold a little bit more like color in that. So I'm going in with a little bit of Canni's Crown Gold shiny shade, and I'm going to mix it a little bit with the black just to get like a little bit of a tarnish color. And I'm just going to go around the base of the tusks where they come out and just kind of blend that up. Just kind of wanting them to look a little more aged, I guess. Like I said, I'm really doing my best to try and make this one look real. So, and then going in with the black and adding in more shading like on the side of the face. And then I grab some sheer 2 so that I can blend the black out. And I'm just blending, smooshing, blending, go in with the black, then go in with some clear, and just kind of adding like the shading in that. And then I add the mouth on the bottom. I don't really do too much detail with the mouth, and then I'm kind of wisping around the outsides of the ears here, kind of giving it a little more of a more texture. And then I went on the other ear here, you can see I went a little too heavy in that spot with the black, and I'm just really just flicking my brush, trying to get like the little, like the smallest amount of color. And then I do the same thing on the trunk, back and forth, trying to get those wrinkles and marks in the trunk also. So I do this with the black, and I also do it with the darker gray, and then I go around the mouth area and any darker areas, and I also do this on the trunk again and lay out the eyes, like the shading around the eyes and a little more detail on the face. Cure that, and then I go in with the white, and I'm starting to make the face a little more of a face. Do the eyes here, and yes, I am so sad my eyes kind of turned out a little wonky. But that's okay. I'm still very proud of this little elephant. I've seen things like this done before in acrylic, but I've never seen anybody do it in full gel. So I'm pretty proud. So now I'm doing eyelids and just kind of detailing, you know, around the eyes and making it more look like a face. Just flash curing in between, giving some color to the iris there, flash cure, and then I do the little white highlight dot on the eyes. And then I go in with some black there, and I start adding like facial feature lines, like the brow and little wrinkles next to the eyes and the eyelids and that, and trying to also try to do tiny little eyelashes as well, just trying to get as much detail on the face as I can, trying to get this to look like a somewhat real elephant. And then just adding some shading near the little nostril parts there. And cure that.
And then I matte top coat the entire nail.
There it is, all done, and I've added a little bit of decoration, some nice crystals with some caviar beads. I've noticed the trunk is definitely a little wonky, and her eyes are a little wonky, but for my first attempt and first shot, I think this turned out really well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Click, comment, like, subscribe, and share with the universe. Keep coming back, YouTube family. You know I love you. Follow me on Instagram, BC_Jazzy_time. And if you'd like to follow my business page, Beautiful Nails by Design, BEUTIFUL, not BEA. And if you recreate this in gel, definitely share it with me. I know it's a lot harder to do in gel than it is to do with acrylic, but I like to challenge myself. So, yes. Anywho's, I am going to go and get to editing this so I can get it up for you guys. So yes, hope you all stay tuned and stay jazzy.